Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another wonderful episode of Help for the Guiltless. My name, of course, is Antoine. And if I start going hoarse during this, I apologize, or if I sound kind of nasally, I do apologize. I got well enough to make that last podcast last week, and then I got sick again. So, not as bad, but I've had a lot of coughing, and not to be too gross, but my nose decided to start running like a leaky faucet. Needless to say, I am here, I'm going to power through it, and I'm going to talk about something extremely interesting today. And it's not something that no one else is talking about, it's something that's come up a couple other places. And that is, a transgendered weightlifter wins women's competition. Yes, basically what the headline is talking about is a man won a women's competition in weightlifting. Is anybody else shocked? Well, anyway, I got this from The Blaze. It was the only one that I really wanted, because it does bring up a couple of other things as well besides this. And it doesn't paint it in the light that most people want it to be painted in. Oh my god, this transgendered woman is succeeding where no one else can. The reason why is because she's a man. Anyway, I'll leave the link in the description. So I'm going to read this article, and I'm going to interject my own thoughts, like I did last time. So, from The Blaze, transgendered weightlifter wins women's competition, sparking debate on fairness. A man, identifying as a transgender woman, recently dominated a female weightlifting competition, sparking debate on fairness in sports. Which is funny, because we do separate men and women's sports for that specific reason. Gavin Hubbard, 39, now going by Laurel Hubbard, is a New Zealand weightlifter who dominated the Australian International Weightlifting Competition in Melbourne on Sunday. Hubbard lifted 590.9 pounds in the women's 198.4 pound division, outlifting the competition by 45 pounds, actually breaking a record. Why would someone do this? Well, it gets into it in a little bit, but we're talking about a man who's decided that he can't succeed in his own sport, so he decides to compete against women and abuse the term transgender. Now, is Laurel Hubbard actually a transgender person? I don't know them. But I can tell you this is bullshit. Hubbard is the first transgender individual to win her division in this competition, because it's not a her, it's a him. I'll get to that in a second. While many find this progressive and a reason to celebrate, some of Hubbard's competition aren't seeing it quite the same way. I wonder why. She is who she is. That's the way the politics and what the New Zealanders have decided. I can't say much more than that. Disappointed bronze medalist Caitlin Facina said. See, she is seen as a female, and that's the way it is. Again, that's touched on in a second. Two-time Olympian Deborah Akason said, if I was in that category, I would not feel like I was in an equal situation. I just feel that, if it's not even, why are we doing the sport? Both of these women, who have trained their lives for this, one of them is a two-time Olympian, see this is unfair, with good reason, because they're not competing against another woman, they're competing against a man. And the fact that the man is 39 says a lot. Now, has this person been transitioning for years? Probably not. And even if they were, they still had their entire life. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, and say he started to transition at 30. Up until 30, he had enough testosterone in his body to make his bones more dense than a woman's, to grow his muscles stronger and larger than a woman's. And on top of that, he had been training as a man from the beginning of his life. When people go into these competitions, it is not something that they just decide they want to do. At the age of, 10, probably to anywhere around 15 or so, they decide that they enjoy weightlifting and they want to get better at it. Then they find out there's competition and they lift more. He didn't, at 30, just decide, oh, I'm going to become a weightlifter. No, he's probably been doing this since he was 15. So he is at a greater advantage to the females of this competition. Why? Because on average, men are 50% stronger than women. This person broke an all-time world record by 45 pounds because he had the advantage of being a man in his younger years. The Olympian, two-time Olympian, sees it. The competitors see it. But everybody else is celebrating it. Let's celebrate this transgendered person taking advantage of a system that doesn't understand what it's doing. The article goes on. Transgender athletes have stirred controversy in the past. MMA fighter Fallon Fox, a man who identifies as a transgender woman, fights women in the ring and is oftentimes victorious. Shocker! One of Fox's opponents, Tamika Brents, after she had received a roaring concussion and a broken orbital bone, said, "I have fought a lot of women and have never felt the strength that I felt in a fight as I did that night. I can't answer whether it's because she was born a man or not, because I'm not a doctor. I can only say I've never felt so overpowered, ever in my life, and I'm an abnormally strong female." Well, that's because Fallon Fox decided he wanted to become a she because he couldn't cut it in MMA and decided to beat on women. Good for you, Fallon. Your wins and everything else is just going to be tainted for the fact that you grew up a man. Again, stronger bone density, bigger muscle capacity, and 50% on average stronger than a woman. Previously, the International Olympic Committee had strict guidelines for transgender athletes, requiring transitional surgery and 2 years of hormone treatments before competitions. That means if you were a man and wanted to compete against other women because you felt like a girl, you had to say goodbye to Mr. Johnson. And on top of that, you had to wait 2 years while the hormones wreaked havoc on your body. These have now been relaxed, however, and now no surgery is required, which means this transgender man who did not get the surgery, who is competing against women, is in the locker room with women. Also, female-to-male athletes may compete at will, while a male-to-female must prove they fell under a certain level of testosterone for a single year. 1 year. 1 year. So, at 38, Gavin decides, I want to get some medals under my belt, and I decide I want to be a woman. So, I'm going to start taking hormones to get testosterone down under a certain number. You only have to do it for a year, which means he's just playing a girl. And they're allowing it. This is ridiculous. The IOC guidelines carry weight throughout the international sporting community, including the Commonwealth Federation, which is one of the recognized organizations of the IOC. Although Hubbard is still a man, he met the standards by the IOC that allowed him to compete. Did you hear that? He's still a man competing against women. He is just borrowing the label of transgender to prove his manhood against strong women. There was a movie that came out a while ago called The Ringer, and it's most of the time the same thing people think of what it is. Johnny Knoxville pretends to be retarded in order to compete in the Special Olympics because he thinks it's easy. Now, the story of that movie is, of course, he finds out that the people who are in the Special Olympics are extremely well trained and he has no chance. But in this case, and he gets caught, and it's a feel-good comedy, so he gets the girl in the end, and blah blah blah. In this case, this is not a feel-good movie, this is real life. A man has taken it upon himself to compete against women, putting every single woman that he goes up against at a disadvantage. And in this same case, he doesn't even have to use steroids. He's naturally stronger. Is this what we're being reduced to? Why not get rid of the separation of all sports? Let's let the NBA and the WNBA compete against each other, and then have everyone get pissed off when none of the female teams make it to the finals. Ever. Or, I've brought this up before with the Super Bowl stupidity, let's have the players of the NFL go up against the players of the Lingerie Bowl. Let's give the Lingerie Bowl players full, uniforms and stuff, but we'll see who wins. Or, women's softball going up against Major League Baseball. Again, who do you think is going to win? There is a reason there is a separation between male athletes and female athletes. And I believe that the original guidelines for this, having to have to go through the surgery and have to be on hormone treatments for 2 years or more, was a perfect and reasonable rule. It would prove that the man really believes he's a female, and it would give the women proper competition. Unlike this, where it's just someone who decides he wants to take hormones for a year and get his testosterone low enough for that year to where the guidelines say, yes, you're fine, you're a woman. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this is ridiculous. Absolutely stupid. It's a man cheating, and he's being praised for it. It's being okayed by the guidelines of this federation. No, this is not okay. It never will be okay. And up until this point, I don't think it's really come to the attention of anybody. But now we're seeing Fallon Fox is seen as a sideshow. Well, it's MMA. They train for all this stuff. It's her fault. The girl's fault for getting in there with someone who she knows used to be a man. Fallon went through hormone therapy and everything like that. This is someone who didn't. But I'd like to know what you have to say about it. Let me know in the comments. If you like what I have to do here, hit like, share, and subscribe. It really helps grow this channel. If you know anyone that likes to debate, hit me up. I'll gladly figure out live streaming for YouTube in order to debate. But this has been Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine. Thank you for listening. If you want to follow me, I'm on the Facebook page, which link is down below. You can also follow Cole on Twitch, Twitter, and Tumblr, as well as the Facebook page. All the link to this article will be down below. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful evening.